A vacuum cleaner company just humiliated Porsche. I'm serious. This is the Xiaomi SU7. It's built by the same guys who make your $300 smartphone and your robot mop. But somehow, they just built an EV that has more horsepower than a Taycan, better software than a Tesla, and build quality that makes American cars feel like toys. The price? $42,000. The US auto industry is praying this car never crosses the border, because if it does, we might be cooked. Here are the 5 reasons why this $42,000 electric sedan is the most dangerous car in the world right now. Let's start with the first thing you notice, and frankly, the first thing everyone screams about in the comments, the design. When you look at the Xiaomi SU7, you get this uncanny feeling of déjà vu. You know you've seen it before, but you can't quite place where. That is because Xiaomi, being a tech giant and not a legacy car brand, didn't have 100 years of design language they were forced to follow. They didn't have to worry about maintaining the shape of a grille from 1950 or a roofline from 1990. Instead, they took a look at the entire automotive industry, identified the most beautiful and aerodynamic shapes on the market, and said, "We'll take that, thank you very much." Look closely at the front end. Those headlights? That teardrop shape is pure McLaren. It's aggressive, sporty, and instantly recognizable to anyone who knows supercars. Then, look at the hood. Those raised fender lines are undeniably Lotus. It gives the car a muscular, athletic stance that screams performance. Move to the side profile, and the inspiration becomes even more obvious. The silhouette, the way the roofline sweeps back into the rear deck, it is almost a carbon copy of the Porsche Taycan. And honestly, if you are going to copy a sedan, the Taycan is the one to copy. It is arguably the best looking EV on the road, and Xiaomi nailed that proportion perfectly. Around the back, things get a little more mixed. The full-width taillight bar gives off serious Lincoln vibes, adding a touch of American luxury presence. And then there is the active rear wing. It deploys at speed to generate downforce, and it looks like it was ripped straight off a Mercedes AMG GT. So, is it a copycat? Yes, but here's the controversial take. I don't care. It works. They have taken the greatest hits of automotive design and remixed them into a package that looks cohesive and incredibly premium. They launched it in this unique purple color that shifts in the light, and it turns heads everywhere it goes. For a first attempt, the fact that they built a car that looks this good, regardless of where the ideas came from, is a massive win. Now, normally, when a new company tries to build a car, especially a budget-friendly one, the interior is where it all falls apart. You usually get cheap plastics, rattling dashboards, and seats that feel like cardboard. I expected the Xiaomi SU7 to feel cheap inside. I was wrong. This interior is where they really start to stack the wins. This isn't just nice for the price. This is genuinely a luxury car. The moment you sit down, you are surrounded by premium materials. The seats are wrapped in Nappa leather, and they are heated and ventilated, which is a feature some $80,000 German cars still make you pay extra for. Look up, and the entire headliner is covered in Alcantara. Above that is a massive, tinted panoramic glass roof that floods the cabin with light but keeps the heat out. The layout is clean, minimalist, but not barren. The steering wheel feels fantastic in the hand. It mimics the shape and simplicity of a Porsche steering wheel, complete with a drive mode dial that feels tactile and expensive. In front of you, there is a heads-up display that projects your speed and navigation directly onto the windshield, so you never have to take your eyes off the road. And they didn't skimp on the party tricks either. The ambient lighting is everywhere. It pulses to the beat of your music, and because the car is smart, it even matches the colors of the album art of the song currently playing. It creates an atmosphere that feels futuristic and alive. Storage is everywhere. The center console is deep, and in a brilliant move, they included a dedicated flashlight that stores and charges right in the console, a nod to the Rivian R1T. But the real shocker? Physical controls. In a world where everyone is moving to touchscreens for everything, Xiaomi, a company that makes touchscreens, gave us buttons. There is a row of beautiful toggle switches in the center console for your climate, temperature, fan speed, the active rear wing, and the air suspension ride height. You can adjust the most critical things without digging through 3 layers of menus. And for the tech junkies, there are 2 air-cooled 50-watt wireless chargers. Not just standard chargers that overheat your phone, but actively cooled ones that keep your device running at peak performance. The execution here is flawless. It feels like a $65,000 or $70,000 car. The fact that they are selling this for $42,000 is almost insulting to the competition. Point number 3 is the biggest reason why legacy auto manufacturers should be sweating. It's the ecosystem. For a decade, we heard rumors about Project Titan, the Apple car. We imagined a vehicle that seamlessly integrated with our iPhones, our homes, and our digital lives. Apple spent billions and gave up. Xiaomi actually built it. Because Xiaomi makes everything from phones to smart home cameras, this car plugs right into that existing web of tech. If you have a Xiaomi phone, the integration is seamless. You get in, and your phone mirrors onto the massive 16-inch center display without you touching a button. You can control your smart home devices from the driver's seat. Imagine pulling into your driveway and checking your home security cameras directly from your car's dashboard. That is the level of connectivity we are talking about. But the software isn't just connected, it is fast. It runs as smoothly as a high-end tablet. It feels like a preview of what the Apple car could have been. And if you are an iPhone user, don't worry, they included the best implementation of wireless Apple CarPlay I have ever seen, taking up a huge window on the screen. But the true genius, the innovation I have never seen in any other vehicle, is the modularity. Xiaomi realized that people want to customize their cars, but modern dashboards are usually just big slabs of glass. So they built mounting points all over the interior. There are hidden connectors around the center screen and on the dashboard where you can physically click in accessories. Do you miss physical gauges? You can buy a speedometer unit and snap it onto the dash. Do you want a physical row of buttons for your music? You can buy a keyboard-style attachment that clips to the bottom of the screen. Do you need more charging? There is a magnetic mount and a USB hub that clicks in to pass power to the passengers. They even make custom walkie-talkies that pair with the car for convoy driving and microphones for in-car karaoke. This idea is revolutionary. It allows you to choose between a minimalist Tesla-style interior or a button-heavy tactical cockpit. You make the car what you want it to be. Why has no major car company thought of this? One more software feature that blew my mind: the audio routing. You know when you're jamming to a song, the bass is about to drop, and suddenly the GPS voice cuts in and silences the music to say, "Turn left"? It ruins the vibe. In the SU7, the navigation voice is routed only to the speakers in the driver's headrest. The passengers keep hearing the music at full volume, uninterrupted. The driver gets the directions, the car keeps the party going. It is such a simple, thoughtful feature that proves this software was designed by people who actually use technology. Number 4, the drive. You might expect a car from a phone company to drive like an appliance. You would be dead wrong. On paper, the specs of the SU7 Max are supercar territory. We are talking about a dual-motor, all-wheel drive setup that puts down 673 horsepower. It will rocket from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 3 seconds. But the magic of this car is its split personality. It is a true Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The comfort mode. In its default setting, this is one of the most comfortable cruisers I have ever driven. The air suspension is incredible. It absorbs bumps and potholes with a level of sophistication that reminds me of the Lucid Air, which costs twice as much. It is quiet, serene, and incredibly easy to drive. You could commute in this car every day and never spill your coffee, the sport mode, but then you reach down to the steering wheel and turn the drive mode dial. One click and the screens turn red. The suspension stiffens, the steering gets heavy. Another click puts you in Sport Plus. Now you have a G-force meter on the dash, the accelerator pedal becomes razor sharp, and then there is the boost button. Press the red button on the steering wheel and the car gives you everything it has for 20 seconds. The torque is instant. It pins you back in your seat with a violence that feels like a Porsche Taycan turbo. Handling wise, it is genuinely capable. It doesn't just go fast in a straight line, it corners flat. And it has a feature that I've only seen on very high-end Mercedes models: active bolsters. When you throw the car into a hard left turn, the right side of the driver's seat instantly inflates to hold your ribs in place. It literally hugs you to keep you from sliding around. It's a little weird the first time you feel it, but it gives you so much confidence. And let's not forget the autonomous tech. Because this is a Chinese EV, the self-driving tech is advanced. In China, the Pilot Max system can handle almost all driving scenarios. Even here on US roads, where it isn't fully mapped, the lane centering and obstacle avoidance felt confident and polished. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing. It looks like a sleek sedan, but it has the heart of a track weapon. And finally, we have to talk about the number that changes everything. Point number 5, the value proposition. Everything I just described to you, the McLaren looks, the Porsche performance, the Apple level software, the fridge, the Alcantara, the 673 horsepower. All of it comes in a package that starts at 299,000 Chinese yuan. Do the math, and that converts to roughly 42,000 US dollars. Let that sink in. 42 grand. In the US, $42,000 gets you a base model Tesla Model 3 with cloth seats and no stalks. It gets you a mid-spec Hyundai Ioniq 5. In this car, it gets you a 101 kilowatt hour battery. It gets you 320 miles of range. It gets you a car that accelerates faster than 99% of vehicles on the road today. I looked for the catch. I looked for the cost cutting. I assumed the build quality would be trash, but I checked the panel gaps, they are tight. I listened for wind noise on the highway. It is dead silent thanks to active noise cancellation and double paned glass. There is no catch in the product itself. The car is simply built using normal car parts, but executed at a level of efficiency that legacy auto can't seem to figure out. So, brings us back to the question, are we cooked? Well, the short answer is not yet. You cannot go out and buy a Xiaomi SU7 in America today. Tariffs, import fees, and political barriers are currently acting as a firewall, protecting the US market from vehicles like this. But the long answer is scary. This car proves that the barrier to entry for making a world-class electric vehicle has crumbled. A phone company with zero automotive history just built a car that is arguably better than what Mercedes and BMW are putting out for half the price. If the political walls ever come down, or if Xiaomi decides to set up a factory in Mexico or Europe, the legacy automakers are in serious trouble. The ceiling for what we should expect from an EV has just been raised. If I had $42,000 to spend on a car right now, and this was an option, I wouldn't even look at a Tesla. And that is why this car is the most dangerous thing on four wheels. What do you think? Would you trust a car made by a phone company, or are you sticking with the brands you know? Let me know down in the comments. And if you want to see more honest reviews of the cars they don't want you to see, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm Nick, and I'll see you in the next one.